Hi, everybody, and welcome to Proline Daily, the longest-running sports handicapping show in America, coming to you direct from Las Vegas. I'm Dave Cokin. John Cranton is with me today. We've got the end of the NBA regular season. Not a great deal to talk about there, as we're really gearing up for the playoffs. The NHL playoff series are all set there, and action's set to get underway tomorrow. Baseball, still in its infancy, but a lot of exciting things happening so far in the Diamond. Jim's been hot. High roller MLB playing the Rays on Saturday. That was a 3-2 winner against Toronto. Then they beat him again on Sunday, which was a good result for me. Jim was 13-2 in the NBA this weekend, and overall 83-42. He's had a really great season in pro hoops.
Yeah, a pair of 5-0 days over the weekend in the NBA. It's been a terrific run. If you missed Jim's NBA Dog of the Year, that was last week against Miami when they beat Charlotte, an underdog that wins straight up easily. Tonight, Tuesday, Jim has his NBA Blowout Game of the Year. It's $79 at jimfeist.com, or you can call his offices at 866-546-9467. Either way, get on the winning bandwagon tonight.
Okay, and I've got one of my exclusives tonight. I don't have these very often, so when they do come down, I think they're worth playing. It's in baseball. Lots of good information on this game. And what I mean by exclusive is that means it's not being sold online anyplace. So the only way you're going to get it is if you're a personal service client, but it's also made available on a one-shot basis. So if you want to get that game, the only way to get it is to call 855-472-2577. And the cost is only going to be $25. So it's actually less expensive than plays that I sell online. I guess that would be called a value play. 855-472-2577. So we'll look at a little Major League Baseball. Orioles and Red Sox matching up, and the flu-ridden Red Sox come back home. I'm sure they're happy to be home after it's been a tough run for them with all the illness and an injury to Jackie Bradley on top of that. Just a lot of problems for the Red Sox out of the gate. The Orioles, they haven't played on the road yet. This is their first road game. They certainly played well at home, John. They won 4 out of 5, so they're off to a good start. Swept Toronto, took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees. They did lose the finale of that series. They ran into Michael Pineda. Was it Pineda well, no, I don't remember who it was. But Pineda. No, the Pineda game was at Tampa Bay. So anyway, their loss was 7-3 to the Yankees over the weekend. But they've been playing good ball, and this will be the first time they've been an underdog, although checking the numbers, it doesn't look like they're going to be much of an underdog. It's I wouldn't be surprised if they go off the favorite in that game.
Yeah, about -110 on Boston coming down. You're right. I kind of like this Oriole team with their bullpen depth, and I like the offensive talent, although the offense really hasn't caught fire yet. They've been doing it with pitching and defense, and the thing about Baltimore is they played 3 one-run games. They're 3-0 in those games. That's also a good, well, at least a good start and a good sign if teams can get on a roll, winning those close games as we saw with Texas the last couple of years. And here they head out on the road to a very warm Boston area. It's going to be like 80, 81 degrees during the day and pretty warm at night. So maybe the bats can get going. I like this Dylan Bundy, too, this 24-year-old. Haven't seen a lot of him the last couple of years because of injuries, but he's got some good stuff, off to a good start this year as he really shut down Toronto. No walks and 8 strikeouts, which are very good signs for him because last year that was one of the problems is walks, 42 walks and 109 innings pitched. That's really not going to cut it. So he's a guy who nibbles around the plate. The thing about him and young pitchers, they can often struggle away from home. We kind of saw that with Bundy last year, too. 46 road innings, 24 walks. That's a terrible ratio. That kind of explains an ERA that was over 5. And the patient Red Sox, they took advantage of that, too. They like to draw walks, and they did when they faced Bundy. 6.75 ERA last year. The Red Sox, they're 2-0 this season, but you mentioned it. They've had a lot of things go wrong with the flu bug, and I just can't back a team when you hear of those stories about they're disinfecting the locker room to kill the flu bug, and they got an injury to Bradley. So the way I look at tonight's game would be a defensive battle. When these teams meet, it's a perfect 6-0 under the total. When Baltimore heads out on the road against the Southpaw, 40-19 under the total. And you got a high number here of 9.5 with a Boston team that having some injuries, and Baltimore really hasn't hit yet. So I'll look at a 4-3 game either way, but more of a defensive battle, Dave.
All right, let's move on to the Diamondbacks and Giants. Giants getting the win in the series opener yesterday, cooling off Arizona. The Diamondbacks have been playing well so far. One play was the huge key in this game. This was I think it was a 1-0. I don't remember what the score was at the time, but the Giants scored 3 runs on a ground ball to the pitcher. Now, they had the bases loaded at the time and 1 out. Ground ball, it's a swinging bunt, goes about 40 feet. Walker picks it up, and I don't think he needed to fire overhand to the catcher, but he did. He misfired. That's an error. And then there was another error on the same play on a bad throw. So you got 2 errors on one little ground ball, and all 3 runners that were on base ended up crossing home plate. And that basically was the ball game because Matt Moore shut him down yesterday, and the Giants got some good work out of their bullpen late, and they pick up the victory. John, a lot of numbers from last year on Arizona. I don't know how much weight they hold. This is a different ball club than it was a season ago. And I'm not saying to run out and bet the Diamondbacks tonight because, in fact, I don't have a play in the game myself. But, they've got a new manager. They've got new management upstairs. They've got A.J. Pollock back. It's just a different attitude with this Arizona team, which they were kind of a dead team walking last year. So the way I would look at it is I would not put much faith into the you look at the numbers against righty starters aren't good, bad on the road. I don't know how much it means. Also, check Buster Posey. He got hit in the head by a 94-mile-an-hour fastball yesterday. He didn't appear to be hurt seriously, but they have to do the concussion protocol. I don't know whether he's in the lineup tonight. It's too early to find out. But obviously, Posey is an important cog for the Giants.
Yeah, it is a different Arizona team from a year ago. That's a good point. One thing that is consistent is the last couple of years, Arizona has had pretty good offensive lineups. Even last year during their train wreck season, they were 10th in baseball in runs scored, and they're very strong offensively again. What we're seeing is they're winning some very close games. The pitching seems to be improved. The only thing is they haven't won a road game yet, and here they are heading out on the road, but they do have the #1 offense in baseball as far as scoring runs. The pitcher they have tonight is a young guy, 25-year-old Robbie Ray, and I look at control, and this guy, he has been known to walk guys, which is common with young pitchers. Last year, 71 walks and 174 innings. It's a little bit on the high side, but very good strikeout pitcher. But the thing that stands out for me, for Robbie Ray, this is common with the guy we just talked about, too, in Bundy, and that is road play. He was 3-9 on the road last year, 41 walks and 92 innings. You can't do that. You can't give free passes.
Well, I tell you, I think Robbie Ray's problem, if you want to call it that, I think he tries to strike out everybody. He's a real nibbler, and he gets a lot of swings and misses, and he's got good stuff. There's no question about that. But, you got to let him put the ball in play. Otherwise, you end up beating yourself with walks. Now, he was very unlucky last year in terms of wins and losses. He pitched a lot better than his record would indicate, but some of those losses are still his fault because of the walks. So, let your defense do the work.
Yeah, not enough guys do that in baseball, and it's maddening when they nibble, and then walk a couple of guys. It is, and this guy can be like that. The Giants, actually, the weather in San Francisco is going to be pretty mild today, about 54. There might be some rain tonight, but it's not freezing cold like we've seen in some of these games. And then Samardzija comes off a bad game, so here we have a total that's actually coming down from 8 to 7.5, and that's how I'm going to look at this game. I can see if Samardzija continues to struggle and Ray walks batters, that's going to put guys on base. You got 2 of the top 5 offenses in baseball right now playing as far as runs scored. And when Ray is working on 4 days of rest, 12-5 over the total. So I'm not going to follow the money here, Dave. I think this might be an offensive show tonight.
We'll get to the free play coming up next, but if you want to get free plays every day on a recorded message, call 888-294-1970. John, free play, anybody who's followed me over the years knows I don't play many big favorites. I don't think there's just not, especially in the money line, there's just not much value on in doing so. But it doesn't mean I ignore them. And there's one stat that I just can't get by, and it's basically forcing me, that in current form is forcing me to take a big favorite, and that's the Anaheim Ducks at minus 165 in their series, their NHL series against the Calgary Flames. Here's the stat, and it's unbelievable. The last 27 times that Calgary has played at the Pond in Anaheim, they are 0-27. That is, it really is. It's unbelievable. Now, add in the fact that the Ducks have more playoff experience, which I think is a plus. And they also finished the season playing really good hockey, 11-3 in their last 14 games. All 3 of those losses were past regulation. So in other words, they've gotten at least 1 point in 14 consecutive games to end the regular season. That's a hot hockey team with experience, with what I think has to be a tremendous home ice advantage considering the history. So, big favorite or not, I think this, to me, anything less than 2-1 here was playable. And at 165, I went ahead and took the Ducks to win the series against the Calgary Flames. Again, free plays every day on a recorded message at 888-294-1970.
Yeah, and that Calgary team just played Anaheim in back-to-back games last week and lost both. So that the beat continues as the young Flames are looking at an unusual situation tonight. Yeah, if you're looking to get free plays sent right to your cell phone, you can get them from Jim Feist each day by texting GAME to 25827. Remember, Jim on Tuesday has that NBA blowout game of the year. $79 at jimfeist.com, or just call his offices at 866-546-9467.
And again, my exclusive going tonight, game that's not online anyplace, $25 to receive this play. I think it's a terrific play. 855-472-2577. That's going to do it. We'll do it again on Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. And for John Creighton, I'm Dave Cokin, and for Jim Feist as well. We'll see you tomorrow with another edition of Proline Daily from Las Vegas.